Welcome to my another video, and in this video we are going to talk about Monorepo. And this is not a new playlist or some kind of a new course. It's not a new course. What we are already talking about is we have already covered REST API, microservices. We have already covered a simple GraphQL with Apollo Federation. Now there are a couple of more aspects of microservices I'm going to cover in the Nest.js, like Nest.js microservices with the Kafka, or different transport mediums like Kafka, TCP or RabbitMQ, and then we will also cover gRPC, TRPC and all. So for that I'm going to use a Monorepo. We are already using Lerna in couple of projects. Now once I explore the NX I have already used last year, but at that time I didn't pay much attention. Now when I see NX now, it has a lot of features and which I wanted to explore, and I wanted to use NX monorepos more with these PNPM, NPM or these kind of workspace. So here we are going to talk about a monorepo concept, like why we need monorepo. I already have a playlist on Lerna which covers most of the aspects. Lerna is also being managed by the same vendor, and a lot of concepts of the Lerna workspace is now similar to the NX. In this coming videos, first we will explore the NX workspace and then we'll just dive in to the microservices in the Nest.js. But for that we are going to use this project setup done by NX integration repositories, integration monorepo, or NX package based monorepo. There are two types of monorepo. Or we can also create a standalone and alone monorepo, like, okay, I want to build just Angular app, Node.js app and React app. Standalone app also can be created with the help of Monorepo. And we will also explore what all other options are providing, like Lerna, NX and Turborepo. These are other vendors which are doing the same kind of solutions, but in just a different ways and different features. So our main focus will be on how to work with NX, what are the features and capabilities we can have while building the simple project with NX. Lot of different commands, how we can just bootstrap a simple monorepo with NX for just a simple React project, Angular project, Node.js project, or any project where you want to have a integration packages which you also wanted to deploy, and you want to have an integration like packages are interdependent on one another, or just a simple decoupled applications which is having their own package.json in different directories. So integration based and the package based monorepo concept we are going to understand. So here how you create a simple monorepo, just create a simple command, and this is npx create nx monorepo, and it gives you multiple options, like, okay, what you want to create, a package based monorepo or integrated monorepo. It is, I mean, you are not doing any configurations of individual packages. Most of the things are done by NX, okay, and you are just defining the interdependencies, and a lot of things are happening automatically. Package based monorepo, it helps you to build the packages or the repo the folders in your own way, like in the lib and packages we have. Inside lib you can create libraries, and inside packages you can have your own project, like React project, Angular project, Vue.js project with their own package JSON dependencies. Standalone React app, Angular app and Node.js app. I will talk about package based monorepo, and here I will just put my org name or anything like that. So you can also ask for, I will talk about another option. So there is another options we have is integrated monorepos. So let's say here you can see these different options: an empty monorepo or a TypeScript based monorepo, or you can also create a simple Nest.js monorepo. And it is integrated means we are building some kind of a packages here. So repository name is, let's say, TK Sharma Nest.js demo. And it will create a simple monorepo, and it is enabled with the Nest.js, because here what we selected is what to create in the new workspace. Nest.js, React, just a simple TypeScript project, Angular, Node, all these options are available. So when you select a Nest.js, it will give you this kind of monorepo setup. Here you can see I got a lib, I got the apps folder, and by default it has created a simple Nest microservices and Nest.js microservices end-to-end tests. And if you look into the configurations, so this is integrated, right? So if you look into these pack apps, you won't see package.json having much information. Like you don't have an individual package dependencies defined inside these package.json of both the projects. These are the targets like E2E lint. Similarly, there will be a targets defined here inside this project.json, which is build, serve, lint, tests, and all. And we can execute these individual commands also from the nx, npx nx, and just specify the which project in which you wanted to execute which command. All those things we are going to look into. So let's say first we will create a integrated monorepo, then package based monorepo, and then standalone apps also we will create and we will explore. And then with after a couple of videos, we will do the live demos of Nest.js microservices, where we are building the microservices in just a one single NX monorepo. I mean, a lot of big enterprise are having a single monorepo for maintaining their whole projects, like Google, or maybe a couple of more enterprises, I don't know the name, but you can manage your whole repositories ecosystems in a single monorepo like NX or any other monorepo you have. Like Google has this Bazel. So similarly, other enterprise also have their own solutions. Microsoft might be using something else, but this NX is popular, and this Turborepo is also something new, but we will explore only NX. Lerna we have already covered in earlier videos. Now NX is more powerful or more feature rich and enterprise level because it provides a lot of features if we compare it with the Turbo. First we will focus on the NX, how to build a simple examples and how to do this Nest.js microservices stuff with the help of NX package based or integrated monorepos. So let's get started. This is just an introductory video, what I'm going to cover in coming videos, and then we will dive into the microservices. I want to finish these microservices as soon as possible so we can switch to a brand new topic. Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to my another video, and in this playlist and this video series we are talking about monorepo, and particularly we are talking about NX. So in the first introductory video I already talked about what all we are going to target. Like we will talk about NX integrated monorepo and package based monorepo and how to work with different projects which this NX provides. Like NX provides a platform to build the Angular application, React, Node.js. It is giving us the overall skeleton, and we can create a package based monorepos where you can have multiple applications, front end, back end, utility libraries, and all these things inside a one single monorepo. We can have like the Prisma, Postgres, all the different tools and technologies with the Next.js, React, SvelteKit, all those things together as a monorepo. Okay, so we will talk about the plugin systems in the monorepo. And first of all, like what is NX and what is monorepo? First of all, what is monorepo and why we need it, right? So the term monorepo is kind of a misleading, but in principle it's like a single repository. It gives us a single repository which contains the multiple projects. Those projects ideally have some kind of a relationship, may or may not have some kind of a relationship, so that we can reuse the functionality between those projects. Okay, so I mean monorepo, there are multiple tools available in the industry, but I see when I started exploring NX is already more popular than any other tool, and it is growing rapidly because of its plugin system, because of its capabilities and all the tools it provides. You can build a monorepo with the Angular, with the Angular CLI, with the Angular app, Next.js app, React app, Node.js app, Nest.js app, or a simple TypeScript package system you can build. So the officially, what is an NX? The official slogan is smart and fast extensible build system. So build system, does that means a replacement of Webpack, Wit, SVC and Wit? Not really. It is just like a core platform. Using that, you can build a React application with a Wit plugins, right? So it provides you multiple options. It gives you all those things handy when you are building an application. It's lightweight and it's really incremental. It uses the plugin system which comes with very powerful. So here you can see you can build with the integrated repo, React standalone, Angular, Node.js and all. I mean, it has the powerful plugin system which supports React.js, Nest.js, Next.js, and all these plugin systems are opinionated, means it provides best possible user experience or developer experience when you start developing this. Now this is the NX and it has a nice tutorial also. When I was learning, I was checking all these sessions, like how all these things really works, how we can run the different tasks which are available in all the repositories, all the different packages. There is like a build task and you wanted to run all of these together, you can execute all these kind of tasks. Apart from that, NX provides this plugin system. You can see here, I can just see NX console, and using that I'm going to run any kind of command. Okay, NX has NX cloud and NX provides the caching. So let's say you are doing a build across 5 different projects and it does the caching results of individual build. So until unless if those you don't put any code or those particular folders are not updated by code, then it will just use the caching results. It means it will just build only those without cache which are affected, otherwise it will just use the build from the cache. Yeah, this NX offers a full spectrum, allowing incremental and lightweight adoption. I mean, just if we go into theoretical aspects, NX does a lot of things out of the box. So here is like a caching, code generators are there, you can create a library, you can create a utilities, and you can just execute these common tasks across different repositories. Okay, so when you create a project, it will create this NX.json, and NX projects uses these NPM, PNPM or YARN based workspaces. Okay, other things we can explore through the documentation what NX provides. So now if we try to just get started with this, we can create a simple Nest.js app, integrated monorepo, and I'm just going to create simple, either you can create a Next.js, we have already covered a Next.js 13, Nest.js app. Okay, I wanted to do the caching. Before that, I should have done the NVM check. That will save me if there is any failure. So I should do that first. Okay, we are good. Because it should be, I should be using 16.8.0 so that everything goes smooth. Okay, this will take some time. Before that, let's take a look onto the documentation part, what NX Monorepo provides. So here, package based Monorepo, package based where you want to have, I mean, it allows you to build things on your own way. And when you talk about integrated repos, it's like opinionated, and when you want to do it integrated repo, when you want to have a dependencies across the different libraries, you wanted to use one project inside another, and you won't really have a package.json individually to individual package, individual folder. It's like a global package.json, and your individual package.json will have a minimal information. We are talking about package based monorepo with the help of Nest.js. So let's see. Yes, we are done. So I will open this project. I think currently I am in. And here is our powerful NX tools which we can use. So it is creating this micro app and E2E app. So if you look into this code, these are the two applications we have. I also wanted to create a Angular app, Next.js app, and Node.js apps and all. If you look at the package.json, it contains, you see, Nrwl and Nest, Node. Similarly, what I want to do is I wanted to include the Express dependency also, because this monorepo can have Express also. So I have some helper commands. So what these commands are doing: npm install save nrwl express nest this is already installed. If you want to add Angular projects, then just use this. Okay, if you want to add a React, because we need to add this capability in this monorepo to create a scaffolding for the React app or for the Express app, Node.js app, all those things are possible. So now we will enable it. By doing this, we can also add an Express, so that I can create an Express app in this monorepo, and then I will just use this tool to do all this magic. And here you can see all the dependencies getting added. I can just zoom in a little bit, and then because I wanted to add these apps inside of packages, right? So what we can do is I wanted to create these applications inside a app folder. So npx, because I don't have nx globally installed, npx nx generate, and I'm just creating a nest app, Next.js app. Instead of this, I will just do is Express app API. I will just call it something else. Currently we already have a, you can see, a simple server. So it is getting created inside this server and server E2E. Similarly, you can create another applications. Let's say I wanted to create Angular app, and I'm just putting the name ngui, or maybe a client UI, that's a better name, or simply a client. I need SES, routing yes, all these things are yes. So you can see it has created this as an Angular app, and all these will have these targets, the build target, serve target, because this is Angular app. And we can also add and how can I use, I mean, I'm just writing these commands, but you can be a little bit smart and use this nx console, and here you can use generate command, and looks like now it's working. I can see all the projects, and I think now it should work. Yes, now I already have this Angular application. I wanted to create a storybook also. That's possible, I think. Storybook configurations, add storybook configuration to a project. So here this is the command. You can see I can copy this and npx nx. So on which project do you want to generate a storybook configuration? So I want to do it on the client app, because client app is Angular. So if we got the storybook also for the Angular components, we don't need to just worry about how to do the configurations and all. But when you do it manually for Angular or React projects, it's a lot of efforts, I will say. But now it is being done automatically. So now, I mean, in the 2023, it's not about putting more efforts in putting the configurations and all. It's all about putting more efforts in writing the logic instead of just looking into the configurations and writing the configurations manually. Here I can also try to create a React app. So for that, let me just finish this, and then we will just create another stuff, generate. So for React app, you can do the same steps. So instead of Angular, you can simply say is React. But we need to see if we have installed this React plugin. So instead of this, we need to check if it is already there. So here it is doing the build in the Nest micro app, and you can also start this. Serve is available in the client app, so I will just use this command. I mean, I can write this manually, but this is more faster. Here it is starting the Nest.js app, and if I just do it for the Angular app, this is the client, npx nx serve client. It will start the Angular app. I mean, it will do all the building and then just hosting this application on, and it is faster. You can see this is the starting the Angular app on port 4200. Similarly, we can do all these commands. Lint is available on all. So I think there is a command which executes this on all the projects. Yeah, this is the run many build command. So here what we can do is simply, here it is running the build command. I will just copy this. Sometimes my CLI is picking up the different node version, that's why it is failing. So npx so it is running the build command on all the projects we have. Running the build command for all the projects. And affected means like which particular project, only it will run the build command only on the affected. So what it does is it is executing this nx affected target build. Right now we don't have really any code updated, so there is no get diff. Migrate e to e, and also you can execute e to e for the client tab. Let's see if I execute. So I will execute npx nx e to e client e to e. So what it does is it uses this browser application, and Cypress automation is there, I think, which is executing all those things. We can cancel it for now. It will run the browser and do the automation testing. And this is the storybook. It will run the storybook. So from first impression, it looks really nice. It starts the storybook, and you can see your storybook applications up and running on particular port, where you can see all your reusable components. Whatever you have defined in for the storybook is available. So you can do the tests, lint and all. It is starting on this port 4220, and here you can see a simple storybook component. And let's cancel it, and then lint, tests and all. I will just do run many lint. I will copy this command and I'm executing lint. So once you follow all those things, you will be handy with all these commands, and you can just type all these things. npx nx, like let's say if we do this command, what we are doing is npx is so you will just need to write nx run many, and the target is this is the lint build serve, whatever you wanted to run across all the packages. Okay, so this is just introductory, like how you can build a monorepo and how you can add the multiple projects with the plugin systems. You can add express app. This is a simple express app you can see in the main.ts. These are the Nest.js app. This is a simple storybook is also added with this Angular app, and this is a simple Angular app module, app component. This is also, there is some default routing available, and it is launching this default welcome page. This is how it is bootstrapping. So when you want to plug and play with the multiple things, then the monorepos are the right things. You can also add a library. Let's say if I want to add a library, so I'll just generate library, create a library in Monorepo, creates an Angular library or JavaScript library, Nest library, all those things are possible, or Node.js library. So library name is, let's say, date helper, and it is going to create, you can see the preview also, it is going to generate inside a libs. And buildable generate, it is going to use TSC, because TSC all the other platform is also there. TSC is a TypeScript is a compiler. It is a publishable library. Generate a buildable library. And compiler and run this. So what it will do is it will just generate populate this inside a lib. It will take some time. Or was there any error? I didn't see this coming up. Import path which nodes is a valid npm package. Is it asking the import path? Okay, here you can pass your org name. So now you can see date helper. This is your library, and you can see in the package.json, this is date helper, and this is the minimum stuff will be available here, and here you will write your code because it is exposing this your index.ts. You can see this is your source root. Okay, you can add maybe Angular library if you want through the NX console. Generate Angular library. So here you can do all these things, Node.js library, JavaScript library, or simply Angular library. What would you like to do this with the library? Just you can say utils or simply some auth library we are creating. And this auth library created, that is for Angular purpose. I mean, it's just you having a simple auth module, common module. It is Angular specific. Similarly, you can create a library for the Nest.js. Because in Nest.js you can create modules. Similarly, let's say I'm creating a logger library or database library. Because Nest.js code and Angular code looks little similar. Here also it is using some module. You can see logger module. Okay, I mean, this is just like a simple demo to get you familiar. This is like a package based monorepo right now. There are multiple applications, added a storybook, front end, back end, everything is inside this. So you can do a whole development with this monorepo. Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to this NX Monorepo tutorials or sessions. Here in this video we are going to talk about React Monorepo, which is integrated monorepo. Means we are going to create multiple libraries inside React app and we are going to reuse them in one another. So it is integrated monorepo, and here we can select simple React. This is React app we are creating with the help of Webpack. Yes, so integrated and package based integrated monorepos are created where you can reuse the libraries inside one another. You can actually provide the dependencies, and most of these things are controlled and managed by NX. I mean, you won't have the individual package.json inside these individual repositories you have. Like I will be creating a storybook configurations for the React app, and then a simple utility helper like common UI is another utility library we are going to create, where we can create a simple React hooks or some context which we want to use in the React web app. So we will see how we can create a simple library, React library, in this integrated monorepo, and how we can use that React library inside a React web app or a simple React design system, and how we can use that React design system or React components inside a React web app. So here we will import, we will open this project, and here we will use this NX console to generate things. So here I'm going to use a React library. Library name is common UI unit test runner is jest, builder is bundler is fit, directory we can keep default, and global CSS linter. Some more configurations are there. I will just import path, just put the import path using which I will be importing the library artifacts. Compiler is Bazel is fine. Wait, and just I will just run it. So it should be able to create a simple React library for me, and then we will see how we can use the library stuff inside our web app. So here we can see common UI, and what do we have here is, let's see if I want to import this common UI props, because this is also exported from here. Can I use this in my app? So what I will do is import something from common UI, and I'm importing something like this. So let's see if we are able to build this, because now this project, this web app is dependent on this common UI app. So I will just do a simple run or simple build common RC app build. And I can see this is building. So what command we are doing? npx nx run rc app. This is the app name, and we are doing build. So what it is doing, it is running the dependent build, right? First of all, it is running the build for the project where it is dependent on. Earlier there was an error, so what I did is I removed the node modules and did npm install again, and now my build is successful. So successfully ran the target build for project RCF, and one task depends on it. So it did both the builds, and now we can just use this. Let's say I wanted to introduce one simple library. So here inside src, I will just create one hook, and I wanted to use this hook in my components. So this is like a custom use Axios hook, and I will import it now. I mean, first I need to export it from here, so we can import it. So this is my app where I wanted to use this. So similarly, I can just do is from and I can just do use Axios, and this is how we can use simple use Axios definition. I will just paste this definition. This is how we are calling the use Axios hook, and just passing this HTTP post, and you can just do the build again. It is building the project on which it is dependent on. You can see it took some time because it's now not getting it from the cache. 0 read from cache because we did the change, so it will build this again, and then we are able to build our app. So now we can also serve it. So nx, we can just do serve rc app npm run build. So this is the build target port you can define, and just run this. I will just run it manually. It's like some dependency mess due to which it sometimes fail to run. So here you can see this application is running. All the other things you can also add storybook components to our app. So here in nx console generate storybook configuration to this project rc app, bundler is width, rest you can just leave, and just run this. So it will just enable the storybook configurations for the React app. So this is how you can just plug and play with the different types, either React, either Angular, Now our main agenda of using NX is to play with the Nest.js microservices. We will have a small microservices and the modules. Let's say I'm just building a simple microservice. I can create these logger module, auth module, database module, config module, or any kind of module, SendGrid module, S3 module, or Elasticsearch module as a simple libraries, and then I can use those simple libraries across the different projects. That's the beauty of NX, and we are going to use that in the integrated monorepo so that we can just show the dependencies, can visualize the graph of dependencies. I think that is possible here also. I used to see the dependency graph. So here it is generating just a graph. Similarly, like common UI, RCF is dependent on the common UI, you can see. So right now we don't have a complex dependency. RCF is using some common UI. Common UI has this use exeosuk and it is just importing it from there. There we can have a complex design system where you are importing a lot of components from there. Or we can have these small utility helper libraries. You keep adding them and get this advantage. So here you can create a simple library also, simple React library. It can be a JS library also, like common utility test runner is jest, tsc directory is fine, import path, it can be your tk sarma, common utility, and you just run it. It will just add another library with the common utility, and it is just a simple JavaScript. It can be a simple TypeScript, and here you can add your common utility functions, whatever common task like date helpers or any utility helpers you can add, and then you can use these anywhere in your application. So these are the different runners, like you can see. And we are able to import things from one another project because here the depends on is on the build, right? That's why one project can import the things from the libraries. So the library, whatever the library exports, if you see the package JSON of these libraries, project JSON, here these are the source root and this is the project type is library. So these libraries can be imported into other projects. Okay, we will explore more how this NX JSON differs for the package based and integrated based repositories. This is integrated based. Here we are using utility helpers and the repositories like React with the different utility helpers and design systems. Similarly, you can also build Angular, Nest.js, or any kind of thing. Let's see the next video which talks about Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to our YouTube channel, and in this video we are going to talk about the different strategy we are using to create NX monorepo. So in a couple of videos we were playing with the NX VS Code plugin, and most of the projects we were creating, those all were using integrated NX monorepo. But we have package based also integrated and a standalone. So we will see what is the major difference in all these different approach which we are having, which NX command is providing when you create a new NX workspace. So integrated is something which NX is handling most part of it. It has its root package JSON, and then you have multiple projects, multiple packages which you might be creating to publish them to the NPM or some other place. But it's all the important part here is you have a root package JSON, and then all these packages can be referenced by simply import statement. And whenever you build any package and you provide any dependency into another package, then it will first build the sub package and then it will build its own. So these are like NX is handling most part of it. And it is, I mean, if it comes to maintenance, if you don't want to maintain it much, then NX will handle a lot of things like utility, configurations, tooling, everything. It gives you less flexibility. And when it comes to the package based, package based is NX is not doing much. It is mainly using workspace solutions like NPM YARN or PNPM workspaces, which is an existing solution provided by NPM, PNPM and YARN, because NX is something on top of the workspace. So you might have heard about Lerna or NX or all these solutions. Before that, there is another thing is the workspace. We will talk about these things and try to understand the difference. So here you can do a lot of things with the workspace also, but when it comes to automations and tooling part, then you start using either NX and Lerna to automate things, NX or Lerna. And here we are talking about NX. So NX is just going to automate tasks for the workspace projects which we have created. Here I'm particularly talking about this project based, because when it comes to integration based, a lot of things are being handled by NX. But when it comes, we want more flexibility, then we just start using package based solutions. And here we use the workspaces. Workspaces and existing solutions provided by NPM 7, YARN and PNPM already shipping the workspaces. So you create a workspaces, a lot of things are already there, and we just add NX and Lerna on top of it to automate the different things on top of it. So package based is using these workspaces, and this is how using workspace you define the interdependency of the packages. When it comes to standalone, let's say you want to have a proper modular structure like React with a React storybook, with a React toolkit, or with the React reusable components as a separate library, then you can use standalone React app, Angular app, Next CLI app. It is mostly using these generators like Angular CLI, create React app, create Next app, create SvelteKit app. I mean, SvelteKit also has some generator. All these are being used in the standalone apps. So in next video, we are going to talk about integrated solution. In this video, we are going to talk about how is package based NX Monorepo is different and what it provides. So we can also see the differences here. It gives us more explanation. Package based Monorepo is collection of packages that depends on each other via package JSON or nested node modules. Each and every project in the package based approach has their own package JSON. That is the main difference. Here you have a root package JSON. Here there is no limitation because it's a flexibility. Each and every package has its own package JSON, has its own dependency, and then with the help of these workspaces, we are managing the dependencies of each project. Okay. Integrated repositories. Integrated repository contains the project that depends on each other through standard import statements, and NX tooling and NX build targets are doing this kind of a thing, using which you can, without even defining, because the particular project don't have the package JSONs, you have package JSON only at the root, then how you are interlinking this dependency that is happening through this import statement, and NX JSON have this build target. So if you add a dependency through import statement, then when you build any particular project, it will build the dependent project first and then it will run it. Standalone, especially like Angular app, create React app and all these things, it is using all the generators, and it gives you a modularized code base with maybe a storybook, maybe a reusable components you can create through the library. All those things are possible with the standalone application when you don't want it to use a mix of technologies. Okay, so package based focus on the flexibility and ease of adoption. Integrated repository focus on efficiency and ease of maintenance, because most of the tooling and interdependency linking and all these things are happening on the fly using NX tooling. But package based Monorepo is giving you flexibility to adopt it, because it uses this workspace. Workspace is an existing solution, and you just create your all these different apps. They have their own package JSON, and then you just define the dependency through this workspace solution. So package based solutions are using the workspace. So first we need to understand the workspace solution, either using NPM, PNPM, YARN. Okay, let's talk about PNPM. If I talk about PNPM workspace, we will also see the demo, how it really works. But in most of the projects, the workspace solution is kind of a simple or similar. Okay, what we will do is we will try to see an example how the workspace solution really works, either through NPM, PNPM, because if you see the NPM, the setup is simple. What you have it in your root package JSON, which is at a workspace level, you just define the workspace directory, right? So it is saying is whatever the packages, let's say you have a packages folder inside your root folder, inside that you are going to create all your applications like React app, Next.js app, or maybe some utility library. All those become the part of the workspace solution. Okay, and when you do npm install at root level, it is going to install all the dependencies. So here it depends on how we are doing it. It is also doing a symlinking of all the packages which are there in different repositories, because different folders, let's say you have Next.js app, Angular app, React app, you will have a React dependency, Angular dependency, and Next.js also has its own dependency. So how we are managing these node modules at each and every package level, and how the symlinking is happening through this workspace, that is important part. So even before going to the package based monorepo approach, because that is flexible and that you define by yourself in the workspace solution, let's first understand what is the workspace and how it really works, because Lerna is also using this workspace solution now, and workspace solution is the existing approach. So let's talk about that first, and then we will switch to understanding the package based monorepo approach. Hi everyone, and welcome back. In this video we are going to explore a lot about workspaces like the NPM workspace, YARN workspace, and PNPM workspace. So before understanding the package based monorepo using NX, we are exploring workspace, what it is, how it works, and what it is providing. So workspace solution is like a generic term which refers to a set of features which comes with NPM CLI. So what we will do is we will create a simple demo, and we will try to explore what all different features the workspace is providing, because in the package based monorepo which NX provides, it's all about a workspace, creating a workspace, a simple folder which contains all the different apps, and then how this NPM, PNPM YARN is managing their dependencies by linking them. So what we will do is we will just run this simple command, and we will try to see how it really works. So I will copy it, and here I will paste it. So first of all, I will just do npm init. I need to have a simple package JSON, and then I will just create simple packages. Okay, this is just a simple package JSON, and here the important point you will see is this thing, packages. So whatever you are going to put inside packages will be considered inside a PNPM workspace or YARN workspace or NPM workspace. Currently we are talking about NPM workspace. So whatever you are going to put inside the packages will become a part of workspace. So here you can create a multiple workspace like a simple folders. Here I will be creating multiple folders. Let's say the UI, let's rename it to simple UI, and then you can have server, demo, client, and they all can have a simple package JSON. I will just put it inside client. It's not a workspace, a simple package JSON. The folder name is a client. Okay, we can just replicate it at all the folders. These are the workspaces we have. Here this is UI, this is server, and this is demo. We will understand what NPM, PNPM, and YARN workspace is providing to us. Okay, so first of all, let's understand this. What is a workspace and what it provides? So workspace is just a simple folder. Here you can call this as a simple folder. This folder name is packages, or whatever you want to name it. Let's say the packages is the name of this folder which you put, and inside this you have created UI common, UI utils, UI react. All these folders are here. And here, let's say, so this is my packages. I have just like a simple package JSONs, and this is my root package JSON where I have the dependencies and dev dependencies. Let's do simply npm install. What it will do is it will just create a node modules with all the dependencies inside it, and you will see these different folders also, the client, demo, and the server. It is like a symlinking the packages from the workspace. Now let's add a dependency to our one of the workspace. Let's say I'm adding the HTTP server to the client workspace. So it is adding this HTTP server dependency, but I don't see the node modules populating for the client. Let's say if I'm installing maybe something else, what is other dependency we can talk about? ESLint, prettier, TypeScript. Here also you don't see the node modules. It just added here TypeScript, and if you look into the node modules here, you will see the TypeScript package has been added. Where should we see that? Yeah, TypeScript. And here in the symlinking client package JSON also you can see the TypeScript and HTTP server. Now let's say there is a same package we are installing at the workspace. Like let's say we have a 18.2.0 and I wanted to install here inside the client a different version of React at the rate let's say 18.1.0. It's a different package than the root. So what it will create this particular package for the client also, I mean, because it's a different version, and also create a symlink here. You can see if we go to the root node modules and look into the client, you can see the node modules being populated here also. So this is how these workspace works. You can add dependencies to the client, and the symlink will be generated at the root node modules level if the package version is different. Otherwise, this root node modules will manage all the dependencies, and you will run all these commands from your root package, root node modules, and the root scripts you will write all the scripts here, and you will just put all the dependencies which are common at root level, like prettier, ESLint, all the TypeScript and build configurations, build packages. All the other sub-level dependencies, like okay, I'm using client, this is the React app, this is the Angular app, all these dependencies will automatically get hosted to the root node modules. So this is what I'm talking here. Dependencies are hosted, meaning they get installed at the root node modules. Your packages which you are creating at the sub workspace level, which has a different version, will also get symlink to the root node modules. If two of your package versions has a different, then you will the root node modules will have a reference of the child version of the workspace. Let's say here we are using React version is, let's say 18.2.0, which we have seen, and here you are installing the package version is 18.1.0. So it will create a symlink, and this 18.1.0 will also be available in the root node modules inside the UI common folder. Okay, so this is pretty much about the workspaces. This is how they work, and you can also execute the multiple commands. Let's say I wanted to execute the commands, test command to all the workspace if present, right? So currently the test script is not there, but we can create a simple script like echo or something, like test is there. We are exiting it, so I will just remove it. So a simple echo script is there. We will not exit, and we will just see this simple message. And now I will do test commands, and you can see the echo is happening. So this is how I can run this test command to the whole workspace if this particular npm script is present. So there are some simple commands. I mean, npm workspace are not that popular, I have used PNPM and the YARN. PNPM workspace are faster. We will also talk about it. This is how you can execute this to the workspace to all configured, and if present then only it will execute. Like if present then it will execute, otherwise it will skip it. Otherwise you can also execute a particular command to a workspace, something like this: npm run test, run it only for the workspace A. Like here we have these multiple workspaces. The workspace name is client, demo, server, UI, and they have their own package.jsons. But you can have, if you are using a different versions and different modules, then they will get symlinked here. Otherwise all these dependencies will go to the root modules, and you will execute all the scripts from the root of this package.json scripts from here. So this is simple about npm workspace. Similarly, we have PNPM workspace also. In the PNPM workspace, you will have a PNPM workspace.yml, and what it contains is, it contains the same stuff. Okay, we can talk about. So I mean, there are multiple type of these workspace, PNPM, YARN, and we can just see the differences. So npm install, this is how we install the packages at the root. In YARN you will do YARN install, PNPM install. If you want to add a simple dependency, individual dependency, then you will do it like this, up to a particular workspace. If you want to install all the dependencies on a single workspace, npm install and give the workspace name. Similarly, here in the PNPM you have a filter command, PNPM I filter server, so it will check for the server workspace and do the installation there. This is how we are adding the dependencies to the root. Npm install, ESLint. This is simple because you are adding a dependency to the root. But if you are adding a dependency to a particular workspace, then you will use these commands. And then simple scripts, how we are installing the dependency to the workspace, installing a dependency to a single workspace. I think these are same scripts. Let me see what it contains. Yeah, this is simple, like comparison I was talking about, how it really works. So we can also take an example of PNPM, how it works, and then we will go forward and we will talk about NX package based Monorepo after looking into these different workspace solutions. So let's play with PNPM workspace a little bit, and this is how we will set up it. We already have simple folder structure. Here we need to create PNPM workspace.yml with simple instructions that I'm going to use these packages as a part of workspaces. Okay, so here we have a simple packages with the package.json, right? And here we have a package.json with simple dependencies. Let's say when I'm doing PNPM I, PNPM is the global package you can install. What will happen? It is actually scanning all the folders, 5 workspace projects. It is installing the dependencies and dev dependencies. Let's see. Okay, yes, it has created the node modules on each and every workspace also. It doesn't have any package, so no node modules. But here you can see node module at the root level and node module at each and every client, each and every workspace also has a node module. So it's different from the npm workspace where most of the dependencies were hosted to the root node modules. Here also we are installing the same here, you can see, and these are hosted to the top. So this is, now let's try to understand it. This is YML, lock YML has been created, which talks about, okay, this client, demo, what all dependencies they have, and all the different packages now defined here. So these are dependencies which are available at the root, and these are the dependencies which are available at each and every workspace, like client, demo, server, and the UI. These are empty. Now let's see, if I want to add a particular package, then I can look for some command, which is, I think, PNPM add. there are a particular command to add to a particular workspace PNPM add dash filter, and let's say I'm installing React to which package UI. No project matched with this. PNPM add filter. What is the command? Add dependency to a workspace. So PNPM add, it's like minus filter, which is filter command, and this is the workspace name, and this is the package name. Okay, just a small mistake, and this is, here you can see the node modules with the dependencies has been created, and this is my dependency. So this is PNPM workspace, and the other commands are also kind of a similar. If you want to add a workspace dependency, if you want to install all the dependency at the root, add dependency, remove dependencies, all these things are like this. So the only difference here is we can see the node modules, associated node modules are there at the each and every package level also, sorry, with the workspace level. And here these are the different commands: PNPM install, update, remove, link, unlink. I will talk about main part, PNPM filter. This is the main command using which you can execute a command to a particular workspace. Like, let's say I'm just executing, what was that command name? Package selection and command. PNPM filter, and that is UI test. Okay, so similarly I can run the same command, client test, right? So you can execute a particular command to, these are the NPM scripts it is executing from these workspaces like the client, demo, server, and UI. So you can just look into this. Now another important part is how you can define the dependencies of a particular project into another, right? That's the important part. Like that we will see here. So let's say I have created some components. This is the client app, this is the React app, okay, and I wanted to use the reusable components created inside a client app inside a UI component. Then how can we do it? So how to link the packages when you wanted to use them? This is just a simple command. What it is saying is PNPM add your workspace name filter the another workspace in which you are going to add demo. So here you can see inside demo package JSON, the UI has been added. And also if you go to the node modules and UI, this is, you can see the dependencies of UI, right? You can see the UI has been added as a dependency to the demo. Similarly, if you want to add this UI to the server, so we will go to server, node modules, first of all package JSON, the dependencies gets added, something like this. And inside node modules you can see, the React and the UI. Here you can see node modules contains the UI because it was empty. So this is how you will interlink the dependencies. Now you can create this can be another folder, like let's say another workspace, reusable components. Those components like button component and some reusable React components you can use in the UI, and this is how you will define the dependencies. And then this is how you will import the components. Import button from UI or some utility or common UI, maybe some better naming, but this is how these PNPM workspace works. And when you do npm install PNPM I think this is more faster than npm, resolving the dependencies, adding a new dependency to a particular workspace or updating. All these things are happening at very fast, and these dependencies are very flat. You can see all the interlinked dependencies. I mean, you don't see the big node modules here. Similarly, we can also talk about the YARN workspace that I will skip, because in most of the projects I'm going to use a YARN workspace, sorry, PNPM workspace. NPM workspace I didn't like much because it is little slow and the commands are not very clear. Sometimes they throw random errors. Okay, so that's all. This is all about the workspace. Now in the next video we will talk about the package based monorepo, and we will just build a simple application. Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and in this playlist we are talking about monorepos. And in the last video we talked about the workspaces, NPM, PNPM workspaces, and now in this video we are going to talk about the package based monorepo. So first, in what all different ways we can create a package based monorepo structure. First we will just use simple NX. So here let's say I will just use NX to create a simple monorepo. And then what we are going to do is, because package based monorepos are the flexible, you can create some existing workspace also. You can start with a basic workspace, either NPM or PNPM workspace, and then you can add NX on top of that just for build and automation. So what NX is doing? NX is nothing but NX is just automating the tasks and the executions of the different script, right? So on top of that, even if you are creating the workspace just through the NX CLI, it is using some kind of a workspace. So by default, it will create NPM workspace, and on top of that, it will just add NX onto your monorepo to automate the task. So similarly, what we will do is we will create a PNPM workspace in another example, and we will add NX on top of that. Okay, so let's get started. We can create a simple monorepo with this example. npx create an NX workspace, and through CLI also we can create a package based monorepo. Let's see how it is. Package based monorepo. What it will give you? It will give you just a simple structure, and it is going to use some kind of a workspace. By default, I think it uses the NPM workspace, and on top of that it will add the NX capabilities in the monorepo. Because package based monorepos are flexible, they will allow you to create your own apps and packages. So let's open this. So what do we see? A simple package JSON, and here you can see we are using NPM, and this is the workspace packages. So whatever you are going to put inside packages, that will be a different workspaces we are going to use. So it's like this directory is defining this particular thing, is enabling the NPM workspace to this monorepo. Apart from that, what do we have? Cloud we really don't need, but we have NX. NX is just automating the task, because here we have NX JSON, which is enabling these task runners. Like you can just run build, lint, test, E2E and all. And this is just a simple basic NX for the package based monorepo. And then further, you can start creating the packages in these package directory. But important point here is we are using NX. We created this package based monorepo. We are only talking about package based. This is using some NX, and this is just using some workspace. So both are package based. Here what we are doing, here we already have a workspace, like we will create PNPM, NPM or YARN workspace, and then we will add NX on top of that. So this is something which we already have, and we will add the NX workspace on top of that. Simple NX monorepo on top of that. Okay, this is what we will do, and this is what we are talking about. So here package based monorepo I have created through NX CLI. So what I did is I just use NX CLI command to create a workspace, and then it has created me simple package based monorepo which is using the NPM workspace. So at the end, in the package based monorepo, We are not talking about integrated here. Only the package based monorepos are more flexible. Either you just use your existing workspace and you can just add NX on top of that, because whatever we want to have in the monorepo where you have multiple applications inside a folder, all those things are also available using the workspace solution, which is provided by NPM PNPM, right? I can have multiple repositories inside a packages, and I can have a workspace enabled through package JSON. But I wanted to add NX capabilities on top of that. That's where the NX come into the picture. Or I can just use NX CLI, which is just which will just generate a scaffolding for me, and by default it is using NPM as a workspace. You can also set a preset while there is a command which creates the package based monorepo. You can set a preset PNPM. It will use PNPM workspace. I think there is some commands to do it. We can just check that command. So it doesn't ask for all those things. Let's see. So here we have a simple package based monorepo. Now we will try a very simple example, because what this example is saying, we already have this. We use this NX CLI to create this simple package based monorepo, which is using NPM workspace. So the linking of these packages will also happen in the workspace way, like the same way this PNPM, NPM and the YARN workspace are interlinking the dependency. In the same way we are going to link the packages. So what we are going to do is, let's see some documentation. Here it is creating two packages. So let's say I will just create is even, and is odd, and couple of index.ts and package JSON we can create inside this. We are just going to do this example based on the documentation, and then we will write our own app. There we can write two of these packages and define the dependencies. So this is just a simple is even, and this is my simple package JSON, which is just building this and creating a dist output directory. You can see is even, and then similarly this is odd, and this is my package JSON. Okay, now what we are going to do is, at the root we are going to install the TypeScript, because without that we cannot build it. Okay, cd we will install TypeScript, and then we already have the NX installed, so we can run all these commands to do a simple build on one particular app. Is even, similarly we can do is odd, and you can see first time it takes time and second time it is fetching from the cache, right? And then so we have both the packages ready. We can just do a interdependency. So how we can do the linking? I will just import is even package inside is odd index.ts. So what I will do is I will import this. So what we are doing here is we will just do the negation of is even inside is odd. First of all, this is odd, and here this is how we can import this dependency inside another package. Now if you just try to do the same build, first we will see and we will do the changes. So I'm just doing is odd, successfully run the target is odd, and this is even. Okay, So is old is importing is even function, right? So there is a dependencies which we need to add of is old inside is even, right? So how we can do that? We need to define this dependency, something like this, inside is old package. So this is our is old because here we are using is even. And here we also need to set the build target because we are defining the interdependencies, but we also need to take care that before even importing that the build has happened or not for that project. So in NX.json we will add the build targets. Now if I just do again is even, which will be build will happen, and then is old. Now you can see one dependent project because is old now dependent on is even, and it is just reading it from the cache. And if I just do it again, it will be more faster because build has already happened and it will read it from the cache. So this is the change I was talking about. I mean, here the NX is creating this package based monorepo which is using NPM workspace as a solution to define or interlink these dependencies. Now here we are doing the build is even and is old, and you can also run the build on multiple packages just by simple command run many target build. So it will just do the build on both and it is fetching it from the local cache. So how we define the dependency, that is important part. In package.json, here we are saying is even inside is old. So this is how we are interlinking the packages, like is old is using is even. And before that there is a build targets also defined in the NX, so that whenever there is a dependency found, then it will build the sub package first, then building it itself. Like when you are building is old, then first of all it should build is even package because is old is dependent on is even package. So this is just a sample which is already available on this documentation, like how we are doing it. So in this particular example, what we are doing is it is already using this NX CLI package based monorepo which is using NPM workspace. So everything is handy. Now if you want to extend it further, you can have your own packages, own libraries. Let's say you are creating a React app here and there is a common UI. Let's say common UI or storybook, and here you will just create another component, another package, React app. And sometimes we in these monorepos we always have a packages and also sometimes app. So this depends how you want to do it, because inside currently workspace I'm just putting packages, but there can be applications also which you want to create. So I will just create applications, apps. So applications will have the applications like Angular app, React app, Nest.js app, and these packages will be the reusable packages like the common UI, Nest logger, something like this. So let's say Nest logger, Nest auth, these kind of modules, and these applications will be a simple microservices API and the UI. These apps also part of the workspace. So whatever you are defining inside a workspace, so now workspace has a two directories, packages and the apps. Apps are application centric, packages are the packages centric, because here you will put a reusable piece, either a backend or a front end, like a front end component library, backend some utility helpers, and common UI components. In the applications you will put applications like a front end Angular app, React app, Next.js app, SvelteKit, Svelte.js app, all these things. You just need to add it in the workspace so that the workspace combines two directories, apps and workspace, and all these things can work together, because these apps also have a workspace enabled. Now you can import the dependencies from the packages, and this is how it works. So this is the package based monorepo which we are getting through the NX CLI. But in most of the cases what will happen is you might already be using some workspace solution and we want more flexibility. So we want to have like PNPM workspace already there, and we will just add NX on top of that. So NX, why we are adding NX to make this script automation faster. Otherwise PNPM workspace is also already doing the linking of the packages which are being across the applications and building the multiple libraries, multiple applications inside one repository. That's already enabled. Just only for automation and speed up things, you will add NX on top of that. And you can see this NX package based monorepo has nothing. I mean, it is not controlled by NX. We are doing a lot of things by ourselves. Here we just added these target defaults so that the target package can be built also with the package itself. And here we can define the workspace. It is by default using the NPM workspace. You can use a PNPM YARN workspace also and add NX on top of that to add these commands. So what all the beauty we are getting, these are the commands: npm NX. We can build an individual project, we can build all the projects, and these commands are handy. And you can also get NX console. I mean, I won't be able to generate much because it doesn't have a plugin system enabled. It's a package based monorepo, but you can just run these build commands directly from here. Run many affected list migrate. So NX console is actually VS Code plugin that helps you in automating a lot of things. You can execute build for easy one, generate. Currently it doesn't generate anything because it doesn't have anything. If you want to generate React app, Angular app, Nest app, then you need to enable these plugins on your this repository. Then you will just install Nrwl, Express, Nrwl, React, all these plugins, so that you can also create a new applications and packages inside this directory. Okay, that's it. That's about simple package based monorepo. Now what we will do is we will just initialize our application with the PNPM workspace and add NX on top of it. Hi everyone and welcome back. Welcome to my another video, and in this video we are going to talk about package based monorepo using NX. So in the last video we were using NX CLI to create a simple package based monorepo.